Okay.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vice Forecaster USA Forecaster JD Rapp with you today. We're talking about a major winter storm up here toward the East Coast. Today is February 1st, 2021, and we're into a state of emergency disaster in New York State. So I'm going to turn things over to Isaac right quick and see if he wants to start, or Keith, whoever wants to start on here.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen here. I got to change it. It's hard to do this one. There we are. So I'm going to go ahead and get a radar loop showing here. Oops, that's not going to do. But I've been monitoring this throughout much of the morning hours. I'm going to put this in motion. This is where we're talking 2 to 3 inch per hour snow rates. There could be more embedded within there. So I'm going to try and zoom in here. So obviously the lower Hudson Valley, we see a little bit of an area where there is a pressure profile a little bit further aloft that could be enhancing. You're talking altitude near the surface, still sub-freezing temperatures across the board. And you're talking New York City and a lot of these coastal areas, major urban population centers, already talking well over a foot of snow. And I mean, a lot of these, even like main roads, interstates, and like all of these major roads, we're talking like extremely hazardous to near impossible. Obviously, we have the states of emergency declared in 2 states, forests, high priority feed at this point in time. So obviously, if you have any reports or anything to pass along, please do so in our group. Obviously, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight what we're talking about there. We see all of these renewed snow bands. So like this is an area where we're talking about snow rates with that initial band now pushing through parts of Connecticut and whatnot. I mean, with the surface low, it's.
What is that? Isaac, I just want to let you know, I just checked with the Storm Prediction Center, and they already have a mesoscale out right now with local blizzard conditions possible.
I'm trying to disconnect. Oh. Sound inputs kind of going in and out, but yeah, I'll go ahead and see what we got. But yes, I mean, we're talking a corridor well over 35 miles per hour. I mean, we're probably in the 50 mile per hour range. I think closer to the surface low itself.
Yeah, because the SPC said that. The SPC said already blizzard conditions.
Yep. So right away things are looking. I'm going to go ahead and see what their latest mesoscale discussion has. Yeah, this was issued earlier. Yeah, 1 to 3 inch snowfall rates likely to change. I mean, we're talking like further north now, well into like northern Connecticut, northern Rhode Island, parts of Massachusetts. So I mean, now we're talking areas like Boston, where I know a lot of major population vicinities. Again, like I mean, like from New York all the way up to like New Jersey up to Boston and everything, and it's just pretty much the whole area. We're seeing snow bands, and I mean, see, this is where the surface low is right there, and then look at how tight that pressure gradient is within that. So I mean, this is an area where we're probably talking very strong winds, and if I'm right, they might be close to hurricane force. Yeah, 2 maybe up to 4 inch snow rates with that. See all that moisture that's backing, and at the ground, we're talking very strong winds, like storm force gusts, nevertheless. Wow. And then because of the wet nature of snow, I will point out that this, what they're mentioning here is the localized possibility of seeing whiteout conditions here, especially near the coast. And
Yeah, let me. I know you're talking about
areas
whiteout
are going to be at
conditions,
risk
but
for major blowing and drifting.
yeah, just let me say something a little bit quick, Isaac. While we're on the screen here, I just want to tell people on this blizzard, on this winter storm. Like I'm going to say here, if you have to travel, do not travel in this situation because there is already a state of emergency, and we don't want anybody else to get stranded on the roads and have vehicles into a huge mess, right?
Yep. So again, like there are major, like a lot of these localities have declared again snow emergencies, like New York City, the proper. I mean, all 5 boroughs pretty much in a state of emergency at this time. So again, that means travel should be limited to emergency response and snow removal only. And some of these areas, emergency response and everything, it's going to be very difficult in some instances, even in ways. So I mean, it's best in a situation like this definitely to stay put, and have tune into your local source of news and have a plan for in case you lose power. So again, even it's being outside could be dangerous too because sharply the visibilities are going to end up being sharply reduced in a small period of time. Oh, yeah, I got your notification. Let me see. Oh, okay, if you okay, but yeah,
I'm back.
we're talking.
Is
See how
Keith gone?
those snow rates are rapid. Oh, yeah, but yeah, so yeah, we see quite a bit of significant accumulation reports, especially across the New York City. A lot of those urban areas. Could you kind of run down through some of those for us?
Me or Keith?
Hey Isaac, you can hear me right, bro?
Yeah. All right. Hopefully you can hear us and we hear you. How are we looking in terms of snow totals so far?
You want me to read off the reports, Isaac, or not?
Yeah, sure, JD.
All right, let me go in here. All right, we got one report just came in today. I don't know what time it is. Looks like it's 18 something. We had 15 inches and starting to get some reports of 15 inches, 12 inches. So these are very high totals. I mean, and this is like starting to get up to 12 inches, 8 inches, 17 inches in one spot. One shows 11 inches, even a 13 inch. So I won't roll these totals going up higher. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing those renewed snow bands just closer to the surface low here. If you can see my camera there, just
I'll back up a little bit.
you can see some of those intense snow rates are. Yeah, and again, looking at Long Island, the Long Island's being hit fairly hard. These are still where some of the snow rates are well over 2 inches an hour. And I mean, it could be much more. And we're talking like widespread blowing and drifting as well. I mean, even with some of that warm advection, maybe a little bit of freezing precip could be mixing in, maybe sleet. Some freezing rain could be mixing in, especially when you head towards western Long Island, towards New York City proper. Some of the
and you're going to lose power
some
also
of the main
too.
boroughs like Manhattan.
All right, Keith, you got anything?
And I mean,
you think anybody will lose power in this situation? What do you think about this?
So I'm going to pull up power outage.us real quick.
Comes in handy.
Yeah, we can't really hear you yet, but here I'm gonna see what the local situation is in some of these states here. We're not looking at much of a major concern in terms of power outages, mainly because the temperatures are not widespread below, well below freezing, but we're still talking like a lot of those winds are just now pushing ashore. I think the strongest winds are now we're looking at New Jersey and Long Island right now. So, I mean, we're already talking about potentially blizzard conditions, and again, a lot of rural areas will probably be at the most at risk for potentially when it comes to power, embedded power and communication outages. But again, not really a
Well, and there's another thing, Isaac. I think there will be power outages due to this blizzard.
again that is still a possibility.
I'm not going to completely rule that out. I mean,
Yeah, again,
I've been doing, folks, I've been doing winter storms for several years, and I think we'll definitely have that potentially of an isolated power outage because we got some wind gusts pretty strong, and that's what's going to make this whole system big is the blowing and drifting snow. And please just let the road crews do their work. Stay home. This is why the state of emergency is in place to keep you home, to protect the road people out getting hurt. Right, Isaac?
Yeah, I've been looking at some of the press data throughout the course of the morning, and I mean, New York City proper hasn't had really much of a heavy snow like this since you date back well 4 years ago.
Wow.
I mean, just 4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that
like
one.
yeah, I mean,
was that 2012? Because I remember watching something on the CNN news about that.
You go back to 2016 when you get
Yeah,
snow,
I remember that.
when you're talking like Long Island, New York City. I mean, some areas got up to 27 inches across New York City. I think that was like Central Park and stuff like that. There's potential that we make it close to that. I don't necessarily. Well, obviously that was a blizzard. When you think of that blizzard that hit in 2016, some areas observed snow of like well over 2 feet in New York City.
2 feet.
Some totals may build to that much. We're not talking widespread, like everywhere is going to get 2 feet of snow in there. But I mean, we're eyeballing a lot of these major population areas that could get to like 2 feet, major snow drifts that could be well over that too. So I mean, it could be a major problem on the roadways, and it's going to be very difficult for a lot of these road crews to treat the roads in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of the salt trucks, the plows, and everything. It's not gonna. The roads aren't treated to make them passable. They're just going to
especially
eventually
the temperatures.
And
the temperatures are going to be very cold tonight in the 20s. That's not going to treat nothing, is it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it could take days. In these more rural secondary areas.
So here's something else.
All passable too.
Yeah, here's something else I was going to put out too while we're on air. Just make sure you have flashlights. Charge your devices up. Charge your tablet, just like Isaac has, just in case you can lose power and you can tune into us. Because once you lose power, you may not get power back for a little while. Right, Isaac?
I will point out that if you there's a lot of travelers, a lot of accidents have been reported. I've been looking at some of the 511 data from
Mm-hmm.
New York State. I would still have to take a look at like New Jersey and a lot of these other like Pennsylvania, a lot of the adjacent states as well. But enough for me to point out that the roads are impassable. A lot of people have been stranded. Of course, I mean, if have a plan for if you get stranded, if you have to travel, if it's absolutely necessary. I mean, you got to have a plan of warmth. I mean, obviously, you got to run your vehicle so many times an hour, so you're not wasting gas to keep your heat. And have a blanket, have non-perishables handy as well. That's always helpful.
Yeah.
Again, if you happen to be if you happen to be stranded, and expect higher much higher than normal times. If you end up in emergency, if you have emergency, it may not take. They might not be able to reach.
Yeah.
Your.
That's the problem. They may not even get to reach you, and this is a a dangerous
So I mean,
situation. So if you don't have, all right, Isaac, we just got one report coming in of 19 inches from a train spotter.
19 inches. Okay. Could you? What is the location?
Okay, let me go in there and just take a look here with my computer. It shows 19 inches in Huntington, New Jersey.
Huntington, New Jersey.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, can you read that? That's too small.
It's a fairly small screen, so so Huntington, New Jersey is that location, but yeah, I mean, nevertheless, I mean, we're already talking serious up to 2 feet, and obviously there could be much more than that. I mean, some areas could be talking well over 2 feet in some instances, especially.
Trying to look at my phone, just looking on the
Peak
computer to see we have.
right now. So I mean,
See anything else?
I'm going to pull up the.
There's Keith. He's tuning back. Keith, can you hear us now?
Hey guys, I'm back. You guys hear
Okay.
me?
I can hear you okay. Isaac, can you hear him?
Alright.
Yep, I can hear you just fine, Keith. How we looking here in terms of snow totals and everything?
Snow totals. Well, I mean, they're rising as I've seen JD say there's multiple reports coming in. I actually have a friend that is there
Okay.
that is actually in KOKX, and I got I have multiple traffic cameras that show multiple amounts of snow.
Wow.
I'll try to see if I can get this one. And mostly all of them are I mean, this is in New York. See if I can pull it up here.
Yeah, the snow totals are really going, and this is going to be. We already have one report, Keith, of 19 inches.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Let me see if we got anything else coming in.
See another.
All right, another report coming in from the public showing 18 inches. We're getting reports of some very heavy snowfall coming in, and this is going to probably not power out because the snow is going to be very wet, right, Isaac?
Yeah, of course, and I mean, we're still going to be talking. We're not going to be out of the woods here until.
No,
I mean,
I don't think.
we're talking like tomorrow morning sometime too. I mean, we're still going to be talking like several inches of snow still on top of what we have going on already. So I mean, like some areas could well over 2 feet, and then snow drift will probably be much higher. So I mean, we could be talking like well over, like let's say the what the comparing totals to like we saw in 2016, well over several years since we saw snowfall this heavy across like some of these major areas like New York City and obviously like I mean New Jersey, New York, Long Island. I mean Long Island very hard hit, and then we're talking like Connecticut and some of. I'm trying to see if any of these states have declared state disaster protocols or anything yet, but that definitely would not be surprising.
Yeah, it won't be surprising me either.
Go ahead and I'm going to check some of the other press
We got a picture.
and data that's coming in from some credible sources and what the Associated Press is reporting in terms of like, let's say like any major accidents or closures or that's obviously official data from the DOT, but like injury, like this could be a mass injury situation if for those on the roads. Just to describe, I mean, I'm not saying it really just depends on where you are, where the worst of this is happening.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a blizzard, and we definitely got to take this seriously, folks, because if you go on the road, you could run into some pretty seriously accidents. If you run onto the road today, you could get some pretty serious accidents, right, Isaac?
Yeah, of course. I'm pulling up.
Yeah, I'm gonna show.
So I'm trying to.
I'm gonna show Keith's. I'm gonna show Keith's little camera here, if you don't care, Isaac. Wow, look at that.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, that's the webcams there.
Yeah, you can see where they've cleared, the roads. They've cleared that out, up there. But
yeah.
Here, let me zoom in. You see from this image, the freeway's starting to close up again. The way's down, starting to close up a little bit.
But are they shutting down the roads?
Well, I don't think so.
That's a lot of snow.
Okay, but I mean,
I got one incident report. Shut down incident report.
But yeah, I'm gonna put some other cams, see if I can try and embed them to the stream the best I can here. So I'm gonna see what the
there's an incident closures. There's a bunch of incident closures.
Yeah, I'm pulling up 511ny.org. I mean, we're talking.
Yeah, that's what I'm using.
Yeah, so I
mean,
they
there's an incident on the Marine Parkway Bridge on both directions due to high winds. Motorists are asked to drive at reduced speeds at the Marine Parkway Bridge.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at like lower Manhattan and a lot of places in New York. I mean, we're seeing like a lot of closures, and then accidents being reported in like Manhattan proper. So I mean, I'm seeing what else we got, like parts of I-87, and yeah, I mean, there's some tractor trailers and things like that. There's multiple crashes. I'm fairly certain that there have been those have not followed the state of emergency, people could end up getting hurt, or they could end up getting stuck out in these conditions. So, I mean, this is why you really need to take these weather situations very seriously. I'm trying to see if there's any other webcam data. Long Island. Because Long Island's definitely getting hit very hard. There's some beach cams.
Only this. We got snow in Ohio. I'm actually getting multiple reports in from spotters up in Ohio from snow. Loads of snow. They're saying.
Oh wow! I mean, Ohio's been hit fairly hard as well. I'm gonna see what's up at Fire Island. Some of these outages. I mean, definitely some really rough surf. I will say, just looking at some of this data, I don't know if I'm able to share it, but yeah, just looking at some of the beach webcams, you can see some very ominous seas. I mean, the wave heights are at least several feet above what they usually are. I'm just looking south on this webcam, just south of, or I can see much darker skies and then snow bands and things like that. The visibility is fairly low, but to put that into perspective, I mean, obviously looks like the snow has it's a little bit lighter right now over Fire Island, but still, I mean, we're going to see some much heavier bands of snow. Still, I mean, we're not out of the woods at all. I mean, we're expecting several inches by tomorrow morning across most of the area that have already seen some fairly significant accumulations. I mean, still, Mike, like very heavy drifting of snow as well. Just looking at some of these as well. I mean, a lot of the roadways. I'm seeing. Oh, that's. I'm not looking for archives. I'm trying to see what the live data is.
I'm back, Isaac.
All right. Looking at some webcams. Try to. Oh yeah, I want to see what's up at Times Square. I could share some of this, but looks like not live. Maybe it is. Hold on.
Have they issued a snow squall warning yet for the counties?
Snow squall warnings?
Yeah, like for the Connecticut, New York.
Interesting. I mean, I don't think the National Weather Service, hold on, doesn't really look like they've issued snow squall warnings. There's already a big winter storm warning out. A snow warning. I mean, this is a very dangerous situation that we have ongoing.
Yeah, it's very dangerous, Isaac. This is very dangerous.
Rapidly falling temperatures. Yeah, of course. But yeah, the rapidly falling temperatures and very strong winds, I mean, will contribute to much heavier snows and drifting with all this as well.
That's my biggest concern. Yeah. We'll be having drifting snow is the biggest concern.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so still looking at some of the data from 511. I'm going to say like full snow cover on some of these major roadways as well. I'm trying to. I got to pull up the legend here, and I'm going to go ahead and try and get my camera share here so I can. There we are. but yeah, so this is the 511 data here, courtesy of 511ny.org. And I'm going to pull up the map legend here. So this is much of the lower Hudson Valley. You can see like partial, like full snow cover. I mean, there's like pretty much all the roadways here snow covered, and then a lot of these red circles with white lines, those are closures, and then the exclamation points, those are like major accidents and incidents being reported. I mean, and then I'm gonna see what the other closures are. Or those are like construction related, but I will point out that like I zoom here, like most of these areas are partial full. I mean, much of like pretty much just the lower Hudson Valley, but even some data here coming in from New Jersey. But this is the New York State doesn't really have jurisdiction over any of these.
Yeah,
roadways,
we just got some. We got a report coming in.
Pretty
Snow.
much presume a lot of these.
Snow mixed with sleet.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean that's gonna, the rapidly falling pavement or the falling pavement temperatures. I mean, much more is gonna stick. I mean, these red roads are fully snow covered. I mean, pretty much even like the main interstates might even be to some degree like very hazardous to impassable. So something to definitely be mindful of, and I think New York City, Long Island, getting hit right now.
Yeah,
so
I just need to be careful tonight on the roads.
Yeah, and again, not everything there is up to the minute on this site here. But yes, I mean, still, that's update pending. Still, many accidents being reported here. The roadways are definitely hazardous. So, I mean, definitely take heed with this state of.
Yeah.
Any other information to pass along? Because I'm just pulling this up now. Now,
we'll look at the reports
much
again.
More intense snow rate.
Starting to get 17 inches reported. We're starting to get one report out of 10 inches.
Yeah. But yes, I mean, we're starting to see a much heavier snow. So I mean, that's getting ready to
be a big problem.
Brooklyn, Riverhead, just. I mean, this is where it's much stronger and potentially blizzard conditions right now starting to onset with some of these heavier bands. And,
yeah, where we see a blizzard warning, Isaac.
How the preset takes it. Another warning. I mean, we will potentially see blizzard conditions. I don't know if the National Weather Service is. They may issue some blizzard warnings out ahead of this, but still something to keep a eye on. Just seeing how the wind increase. I think like some embedded whiteout, and you have to have sharply reduced visibilities for well over 3 hours in order for like a blizzard warning to be issued in response to this. So I mean, visibility are still a issue, although there's no like formal blizzard warning. I mean, still even without blizzard, I mean the official blizzard conditions, which the Prediction Center does say that there are blizzard conditions occurring with this, but just not the out or anything like that happening just everywhere that is experiencing the heavy snow right now. But I will point out that again, we're seeing very heavy blowing snow, and it's definitely drifting as well. I mean, we're seeing with these heavier snow bands a lot of very strong mixing in with this, and Yeah.
All right, we
just
got one
saying,
report of
this is going to contribute to.
15 inches now. We got one report of, and a few reports coming in. A 14. There's a 15 inch. There's even a 12 inch. So once we get, these are big amounts. There's one report from the public over 10 inch.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we're seeing that peak starting to come ashore right now. Looks like this snow may be mixing in with freezing precip as well.
And that's just going to make the roads very
I
slick.
can tell it's closer to the surface flow itself. That is where the temperature profile. So above the surface, I mean, there's a little bit of an inversion, much stronger winds aloft, ushering in, where that moisture is advecting. A lot of it's liquid. It's freezing as it reaches the surface. So that is, we're talking about like well over a foot of snow, and then we're talking like potentially significant icing that could make this really slick as well. So
yeah, we need to be careful on that too.
Really pay attention to in your locality as well. So do we develop along at this point?
Well, I'm just Keith. You got anything to pass along also, either?
Well, I mean,
All right.
getting up what Isaac is using as a traffic cam, I can't find nothing. But I mean, there's multiple reports, and it's I mean, there's a cold front pushing in, like it pushed through Missouri. But definitely down by 9 is where it has the least. But I mean, up by Riverhead, Norwich, Middletown, Hartford, it's where it's gonna get most. And then they have the mesoscale discussion.
Oh yeah. So I mean,
And this
just
is going
to
to
put
make
that into perspective. I mean,
yeah. We definitely don't want to lose any power. And that's the one thing, but I'm getting concerned of that we could have power outages due to this whole system. The winds and drifting, and this is going to be a wet snow. And anytime you get a wet snow, you definitely get a lot of problems. But we can, right, Isaac?
yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, just the the accumulations are an issue, and especially on some of these major roadways that are impassable, and something to be really careful about the just going about the afternoon. I mean, pretty much the whole state, or not the whole state, the whole state of like New Jersey, like New York, out of the boroughs and everything. I mean, this is a real concern. I mean, I just hope that everyone is staying put because the roads are impassable. We got to keep the roads clear for emergency response. And
so
again, just
people need to stay off the roads
emergency,
tonight.
Yep, and I mean this. We're talking like an additional maybe up to a foot of snow in some areas into tomorrow morning. But this is the peak. This is the height of the snow that we have going on now. So we expect things to continue to be maybe deteriorating in some cases. These. So I mean, the snowfall may kind of lighten up a bit, but we still got headwinds that are pushing ashore as that surface flow continues to push in, and I think the winds are going to increase as well as that low pressure system kind of trails some of those areas. I mean, maybe some freezing rain and maybe some rain will mix in. I think the temperatures are still going to be on the downward trend as we had through the evening, so that is going to...
All right, we just got a report of 14 inches of snow over here in Farmington over here.
Okay, what state and locality?
New Jersey. I'm a train spotter.
Farmington, New Jersey. All right, again, this is real, folks. I mean, you're getting very heavy snow and lots of drifting and something to. I'm gonna again see what else the SPC is mentioning about this.
I'll check also too, and I'm gonna say some things while you're doing that, Isaac. I just want to say this is a typically dangerous situation today. So if you don't do what we say, I mean the roads could get very slick today. So you definitely want to be mindful and take this assault and say this is a bad situation, or you could really get yourself into a big mess today of having accidents. We already, like Isaac said, we already had reports of accidents today. This is the winds are going to get very strong in this event. I mean, definitely, make sure you have everything with you, like a flashlight, food with you. Sometimes extra cash. That always help, Isaac, in case the machines were down for several days and you can't get to them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
and this is a blowing.
Seeing what we got here, like they're. Yeah, I mean, talking about all of that moisture that's infecting further aloft. I mean, very strong winds with that. Looks like with the jet that's in that sort of area, and I mean, depending on how much moisture you get infecting into areas across the Long Island, New Jersey, New York coast, and Connecticut. I mean, mostly Long Island and southern Connecticut, southern Rhode Island, that area that have been highlighted for more localized blizzard conditions. So I mean,
Yeah, I
it'll
just
likely
got
be
a.
brief bursts of blizzard conditions
Okay.
and whiteout. But I mean, still, I mean, it's going to be localized where you see whiteouts, but it's still like high population vicinities and whatnot. And I mean, just looking at some analysis data, I mean, when you're talking the point in altitude where like over 500 millibars or under that pressure altitude, then I mean, we've looked at some potentials with all that moisture that's advecting and some of that sinking air just with that.
Yeah, I'm just getting some more information coming in, Isaac. We had one report earlier over here showing 2.5 inches of snow in the last 2 hours, so that would have been a while ago. But yeah, this is just telling you this strong winter storm is going to get worse this evening. I think road conditions are going to get more slick as we get into this evening.
Yeah, definitely. We got to be really careful if you have to be out there.
Yeah, especially Keith, you got any information you can pass on to us right now? Isaac is still there?
On WS charts, there's a high pressure system moving in, and then it's just circling around like a little cyclone or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just looking here at my radar. It still shows me snow. We still got we had one report of 19 inches. So this just tells you we could get at some places up here showing you one radio station is showing you maybe almost 9 inches and even 11 inches. But if you still don't even get 19, 13, 14, this is still going to be a major winter storm, Isaac, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're not out of the woods. I mean,
yeah, I just don't like this.
I mean,
I don't
the
want
transition
people
line to like sleet and rain. I mean, that'll kind of trail. I mean, some of the coastal. I mean, some rain will potentially mix in, but I mean, once snow is out of the way. I mean, with pressure, more northerly components, some of that flow behind that, and the northerly winds, the temperatures fall potentially into the 20s just later this evening. And I mean, where the temperatures aloft are still slightly above freezing. I mean, there's a limit inversion profile in place. I mean, we could still be talking like some form of freezing precip that will come in contact with the frozen ground, but also the snow rates may locally exceed 4 inches an hour sometimes this afternoon with these snow bands that are moving.
I won't roll that out. Once you start seeing 4 inches snow bands, did you say snow rates over 4 inches? That's what you said, Isaac?
Well, yeah, locally 4 inches an hour. Mostly,
that is very
like
strong.
2 to 3 inches per hour at.
I'm going to take the reports off just for a second. I'm going to put this thing in animation here, and you can just see how strong this whole thing is, Isaac. Just take a look at how strong that is, moving up that way. That's like a huge low pressure, like a hurricane. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, trying to catch some of the observation data, but yeah, the wind barb's closer to. So, I mean, that's where we're talking gale to storm force gusts off the coast, and then I mean, I think obviously storm force maybe. I don't know if there's hurricane force wind warnings out of there, but I mean, I could be talking like very damaging. I mean, that's going to sharply reduce visibilities there. I mean, it could be near whiteout lowly, as the Storm Prediction Center has been mentioning there. I mean, obviously we're talking gusts well over 50 miles per hour, maybe into like. I'm going to see what the area forecasters mention here, but yeah, I think they've updated this date. Oh yeah, 128. All right, hold on. I'm trying to scroll down. But yeah, gusts are potentially in the 40 to 60 mile per hour range near the coast. Obviously, at times there's potentially blue conditions that will continue.
Just got one report coming in of 10 inches of heavy snow
and drifting snow. Yep.
10 inches of snow.
Yeah, that's a lot. Thanks for keeping us posted there.
New report just came in. New report of 3.5 inches of snow coming in.
3.5 inch snow.
3.5.
Okay. Yeah.
Train spotter just reported 6 inches down here, some places. Yeah, but you're getting some more reports of 14 inches. Some of these are just the same reports, but just looking for now, we got a 7-inch now reported, and so this is just a blizzard conditions expected, and even I'm gonna tell about it. If you look, even your town don't get 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches, it doesn't matter. This is still a strong storm system, right, Isaac?
Yeah, of course. Again, I will point out, like, there's potential for freezing precip, maybe moderate snow and freezing drizzle in some of these areas as well across Long Island, parts of Connecticut. Potentially some light rain and drizzle. So, like, it'll we're like, obviously, we're talking lighter precip into tonight, but also keep in mind that, so I mean, the boundary layer goes below freezing and everything well, but also we're talking still precip is expected to persist. Looks like some light snow, lighter snow eventually across, again, some of these areas into tomorrow as well. It looks like it doesn't taper off into tomorrow afternoon, potentially into tomorrow evening, with potentially still several inches likely. And and then potentially some hazardous travel conditions still expected Tuesday, like tonight into Tuesday. Obviously, the snow removal, everything is still like, I mean, snow will potentially taper off like late in into your Tuesday, across like New York City proper and some of these
Yeah,
major
I'd agree
urban areas.
too.
But still, I mean, like I mean, main roadways should be able to be treated into Tuesday. But I point out that the winter storm warning for like New York City and these areas looks like the very difficult to impossible travel into the Tuesday morning commute, and then that kind of sides and roadways will potentially still be able to be treated as that surface. Some light snow could still occur across some of these areas into Tuesday as well. But again, we're talking areas like Maine and like well into New England. I mean, this is where we're talking some accumulations, maybe locally double-digit accumulations on strong winds into Tuesday night at times, and still mentioning very difficult travel conditions across these localities as well. And
Then it says, I'm just reading up here towards Maine area.
accumulation that could
Maine could see up to a tenth of an inch of ice.
Yeah, I mean, especially the southern sections of Maine, well, southern Vermont, and much in New Hampshire. I mean, especially where there's higher totals and higher elevations for sure. Something to be mindful of. But I mean, I'm going to see what the area, some of these areas may see a foot, but I think the heaviest of this is still like well, and also like New York and northern New Jersey, like sort of lower Hudson Valley, surrounding areas of Pennsylvania, and then obviously Connecticut, Massachusetts. But again, these are likely going to be. Oh yeah, that's into Thursday morning. But yeah, I mean, snow will be much higher, and the probability of seeing snow exceeding 2 feet, like still is there, particularly for areas. Like still some of the more mountainous regions. But this is not snow that. Well, I mean, the heaviest snow is the heavy snow dancing through like Connecticut and Long Island and Rhode Island, stuff like that now. But yeah, like when we're talking like areas around Maine, northern sections of Maine, looks like some of these areas, like 60 to 70% chance within 72 hours. Some areas may be 12 inches, but at the same time, the snow rates will be a bit lower when you're talking like northern New England, where where the surface flow kind of meters a little bit further away from the coast. Still some light snow, well, obviously moderate to heavy snow, obviously across coastal areas. Obviously, there's that low kind of meanders. Obviously, more inland areas are going to be impacted the most in terms of snowfall heading into.
All right, Isaac. I just got we just got a new report coming in now. 5 inches of snow.
Okay. Yeah. Again, we'll definitely keep passing those along, and
another report coming in. Very heavy
travel data for sure.
Yeah, I'm just reading some more. Heavy snowfall. Snowfall rates up to 2-3 inches an hour. And that's Adams County in Pennsylvania.
Still a very
over here.
serious situation up there. Yeah. But again, that is that appears to be a very dangerous. And I mean, still like
And just take a look at the whole
still have to see
situation,
this
Isaac. We're
now,
just
and
starting to see all these
still, I
bright
mean,
whites. These are very strong snow bands are coming in, and this is what's going to make travel very dangerous. I mean, and very impossible to drive on. If you don't have to be out tonight, stay home. Let the snow plows do their work, and we don't want anybody else to be out there to get stranded. And we don't want any accidents to get anybody in the hospital. Since we have coronavirus, we don't want that to happen, do we?
of course, very concerning what we've been going through with this disturbance,
And we've been talking about
and
this the last couple days about the system
I'll
coming in.
definitely keep everyone posted.
We've been talking about this the last couple days about this winter storm, Isaac,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I mean, we've been keeping tabs with this forecast these past few
Me
days,
too.
and I mean, this is this is the worst you get right here. So I mean, definitely good to
Yeah.
follow your state travel guideline, health guideline, of course, and I mean, please keep engaged in the group. Like, if what you're seeing, I mean, it would be helpful to not only us but other members in the group and on the page side as well. So we will continue to follow up, but otherwise, I suppose I'll keep going with some of the looping data stuff. We'll keep this live, but I am going to I'm probably gonna head off here so I can check some other Twitter feeds, just some of the other data, uh, and as we go about, and then keep me posted, and we'll definitely keep
Yeah,
you posted as well.
yeah, I gotta go too.
Want me to keep this going, Isaac? Isaac, want me to keep this going?